I mean, you guys want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
I have two very elementary, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, kind of. Two multiple choice, very easy, elementary level. So when water is contained, when we have water and air in a bottle, for example, and the bottle's at rest, could we agree that water always fills the bottom of the container, pushing the air to the top?
Hey,
What's
how
up?
does this work?
So you guys want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have two very easy elementary level, multiple choice.
Alright.
See if you guys can get at least one. Yeah, I guess we get both.
Okay.
But, so it has to do with the orientation of water. So when we have air and water in a water bottle like this, for example, and it's at rest, regardless of the orientation of the bottle, the water will always fill the bottom and always push the air to the top.
Yeah.
Right? That's physics, right? Doesn't matter the orientation. Water will always be in the bottom and it push the air to the top, right? Hey, alright, so two very easy elementary level, multiple choice. I want to see if you guys get at least one. Yeah,
Okay.
Very easy. So when we have air and water in a bottle like this, for example, and it's at rest, the water will always be in the bottom and the air will always get pushed to the top, regardless of the orientation.
Right.
You know, would you guys agree? That's fact, you know, basic physics. So since we understand that fact about water, right, which one of these two is not in the correct orientation? Regardless of the orientation. You know,
Correct.
Water always goes to the bottom and air gets pushed to the top.
Is that a question or?
No, that's a fact. Would you agree or disagree?
Oh, that's the question.
No, that's not the question.
Oh, that's
I'm prepping you for the question.
Oh, okay.
So would you agree though that water is
Yeah,
always
yeah.
in the bottom and air is always on top?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's physics. So since we understand that fact about water, right? Which one of these two? I painted the water blue just to make it easier to see. Since we understand the physics of water and how it behaves, which one of these two images? Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. Which one of these two images is not in the correct orientation? All right, you got it. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah? Why do you guys think this one's not in the correct orientation? Exactly. Yeah, it's
the
pretty easy.
worst.
So that's the correct orientation. So you guys got it. That's the first one. You guys got it. Which one of these two is not in the correct orientation? I painted the water blue just to make it easier to see. You know? Number two, okay. Do you guys agree that this is the one that's not in the correct orientation?
You gotta say your answer too.
What did you say number two?
Huh?
I mean, why did you say number two? I mean,
No, because like if we were looking at from this perspective,
yeah, that's
then
all.
for sure the blue should be on bottom. Because the water's
Exactly.
pushing it out.
You got it. Yeah. So I took that one like this. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I was
this
like-
one was.
I was like wondering how you did that one.
Yeah, I took it holding it up like that. So you got it because the water obviously can't stick to the top. You know, that's obvious. So the second, which one of these two is not in the correct orientation? The water is blue, by the way, just to make it easy.
Which one is not? Can I touch it?
Yeah, you could touch them. Which one is not in the correct orientation?
I feel like this one. He's gonna say this one.
Wait, is this like where is
It's a water bottle. It's
It's
like
a water
that
bottle.
water.
Yeah, but the water is just blue, basically.
It's just the
Yeah.
water's blue with a cap. Which one's wrong?
Which one is not in the correct orientation, basically? Which one's wrong, I guess you could say.
This one, right?
Okay. Yeah, you got it. Why do you say that one?
Because the water's on top.
Exactly. Yeah, it's that easy, literally.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I took it like this. Yeah, very easy. I mean, that's what water does. That's why rain falls and air bubbles rise in water. You know, that's basic physics.
I know.
No. I'll get to that now. But, in other words, which one is not correct? How I'm showing it to you. The water is blue, by the way, just to make it
Like
easier
food
to
coloring?
Yeah, with food coloring. There you go.
Maybe this one's flipped over. But then this one could also just be like normal. This could just be.
So it's one that's upside down, you could say, like you said, flipped over.
Yeah.
Would you say it's number two?
Okay, well no, there's water stains right here. This one, yeah, they both have water stains.
Yeah.
That's what it says. Okay. What are you thinking?
Well, what's the
Which one?
question?
Yeah, which one is not in the correct orientation?
Oh, okay.
So one is in the correct orientation. In other words, if we understand water is always in the bottom and the air gets always, gets pushed to the top.
This could be upside down.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
This is the correct one.
Okay. Which one? Do you think this one's upside down? This is the correct one, yeah.
Yeah,
This is
this
the one
one.
upside. Yeah, you got it. And it's because again the water can't stick to the top. I took it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you guys got it. So the second one's even easier.
Yeah?
So another thing about water.
I knew that.
Exactly. I told you. So water always finds its level. Would you guys agree? Regardless of the orientation, again, water always, finds its level.
Right.
What could be another word for level?
Level?
Floor.
Level. like a level. If you have something level, equilibrium's a good one. The one-word definition will be horizontal, because if you have a straight line that's on the slope, it's not level. It has to be a horizontal straight line. That's what level means, right? Another thing about water, you know, again, regardless of orientation, it always finds its level.
Yeah.
You know, that's another fact about water, right? Especially when it's at rest. So, since we understand that fact about water, which one of these two represents level as we know it? When we're looking at the water, which one represents level as we know it?
What is even a difference?
If you're looking at the water,
Like, we're looking at the water.
which one represents level?
Would be this one because they're always the same.
Exactly, yeah. It's that easy. Which one of these two represents level? As we know
Represents what?
it. Level. Which one represents level? A or B?
B, 'cause, like, the water's going down.
So you think that means level?
What's that? These are all the same distance, right?
Yeah, that's the distance.
I want to answer, but I want to
I'm gonna say this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go this way.
Yeah, that's the obvious one. Which one of these two represents level as we know it? A or B? Okay, that was quick. All right, you guys agree, right? So which one of these two represents level as we know it? A or B? Water always finds it. Okay.
A.
You guys agree, right? Yeah, obvious, right? So the real reason I do this is because over 95% of the population, including myself and maybe you guys, have been tricked to believing this is what level means, even though we know it's this one. You guys want to know how we were tricked?
Yeah.
Do you guys believe the Earth is a ball?
Yes.
Yeah, so NASA and the reason I do this is because over 95% of the population, including myself and maybe you guys, have been tricked to believing this is what level means, even though we know it's this one. You guys want to know how we were tricked?
Yeah, sure.
Do you guys believe the Earth is a ball?
Yeah.
Or a sphere, right? So
Yeah.
NASA. So the real reason I do this is because over 95% of the population, including myself and maybe all of you, have been tricked to believing that this is what level means, even though we know it's this one. You guys want to know how we were tricked?
Yeah.
You guys believe the Earth is a ball?
Yeah.
Right? A sphere, right? So NASA in specific, they claim to have satellites orbiting the Earth, so they need to know the radius of orbit if they're supposedly going around it. So they do tell us the radius of the Earth is 3,159 miles, which means there has to be curvature every mile. And in the first mile, there's an 8-inch drop, second mile, 32 inches, and by the third mile, there should be 6 feet of curvature. But if we went to a giant lake that was miles across to physically measure for this curvature, the water's going to show us that it's going to be parallel to anything horizontal above it. But they're trying to tell us that the surface of water on a lake is bending 8 inches per mile squared. You know, but physics shows us that that's bullshit, you know. So if we actually went out to a giant lake that was miles across to physically measure for this curvature that we're being told, the water's going to show us that it's going to be parallel to anything horizontal above it, like the level structure, right? But they're trying to tell us that the surface of water is bending 8 inches per mile squared, you know. But this will be the #1 experiment to debunk the globe of physical measurement of the Earth.
Are you a
water.
flat earther?
I'm not a flat earther. No. So if we actually went to a giant lake that was miles across to physically measure for this curvature, the physics of water, you know, water is going to show us that it's going to be parallel to anything horizontal, right? So in my opinion, this will be the #1 experiment to debunk the globe of physical measurement of the Earth, water in specific, you know? So if I was to ask you guys, what's the #1 proof or reason that makes you believe that the Earth is a ball?
I mean, like, as like when we were like enter in primary school and we were like teach those stuff, and we were also shown with like footage and
Okay, so pictures and videos that
Yeah.
you were showing? Okay. So if we went out to a giant lake that was miles across to physically measure for this curvature, the water's going to show us that it's going to be parallel to anything horizontal above it. But they're trying to tell us that that water's bending the surface of water 8 inches per mile squared. So this will be the #1 experiment to debunk the globe of physical measurement of the Earth. You know? So if I was to ask you guys, what's the #1 proof that makes you believe that the Earth is a ball?
Water.
I mean, water shows us that it's level. That's what water does, you know. I mean, it's fine if that's what you just were told, for example, and you just believe it. That's pretty honest. Because the majority of us were just told that when we were 5 years old, for example, and going in a classroom. But, I mean, there's nothing that comes into your mind. I mean, some people will say images, for example, of the Earth.
Yeah, I would say images too.
Yeah, this will be the #1 experiment to debunk the globe of physical measurement. So if I was to ask you guys,
sorry to cut you off, but wouldn't this logic be like saying like, oh, my shoe would be bent like this?
Right.
Because it's the Earth is like round.
Okay,
So
so you're
it should
saying
be-
it,
it
so you're
should
saying
be-
it's gravity, the force of gravity.
No,
bending?
I mean, like-
I don't know what you're saying.
So like this is leveled because the Earth is so big, right? So
Right. Oh, okay.
so there's no reason why it should start going down slowly, right?
I mean,
like
if
with-
it's
like with the-
curving, it should.
Yeah, but like if it's curving like this, that means like it's not. It's like a really small like surface, you know.
Well, that's
Like-
the dimensions that they tell us. There's a reason why they don't tell us the Earth curve calculator, because again, when you put it into perspective, it's gonna, like you said, it's gonna start to look a bit ridiculous. Like, wait a minute, it can't be that much curvature, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But it is. That's the numbers they're giving. But here's the thing. They could say that the Earth is twice the size they're telling us. In other words, 50,000 miles in circumference. Guess what? Half of this curvature should still be measurable. But the fact is that water doesn't even bend an inch, especially when it's at rest. When you look at a lake, there's a reason why it completely reflects the mountains or the, because the water is perfectly still and level. If it was bending, then the image, the reflection of the will be warped. But again, physics of water shows us that the Earth is not a ball. But the word flat is basically part of how they're censoring this. So they're misrepresenting this topic. So the Earth is not flat; it's level. And I'm gonna tell you why it's level. Because in order for something to be level, it needs to have orientation, right? And in order for something to have orientation, there needs to be something moving. Basically, there needs to be motion. So the water's level to the motion of the Earth. So the Earth is in constant motion. So what they're telling us about gravity being a pulling force is basically a lie. So that
So what you're saying is the water drops that much?
the water should bend this based on the radius of the Earth. That's the radius they're telling us that the Earth is. But again, the surface of water doesn't bend. That's physics. It always finds
You're
its
saying it
level.
doesn't look like this.
Exactly. If
It
you go
looks
to
like this.
any lake, this is what the lake
Yeah.
is.
Sorry,
Yeah.
we gotta go.
Oh yeah, no problem, man.
I'll see you around.
Yeah, I'll be here. So if I was to ask you guys respectfully, what's the number one proof that makes you believe the Earth is a ball?
Science?
Okay, in specific, what science?
All the pictures that they've
Okay,
taken.
pictures.
Yeah.
What else? Okay, so the horizon, would you say? Okay, and
I saw them globes in the classrooms.
that's honest. So it's just what you were told, right? So pictures, I don't know if you
Right.
knew, NASA, they don't call them pictures, they actually call them images.
Right.
And the reason they call them images is because they're not photographs. They admit to this. So they call them composites, but they're basically just CGI. They're computer generated. So they admit to this. So a genuine photograph of the Earth from space doesn't exist. So everything they're showing us, any space agency, the ones from Japan, China, and all those, they look even more ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you knew NASA and any other space agency for that matter, but now I'll focus on NASA. So all the photos that they show us, they admit they're not photos, so they're images. They call them images. And part of the reason is because again, they're not photographs. So they make these in a computer. For example, so like this. This is from 2002 and from 2012. So again, these are CGI. They admit to these. No genuine photograph of the Earth as a ball exists, basically. So if I was to ask you, like, can you find any difference between these two? Is there a big difference between the two?
Not much.
The size of the
There
land
you go.
structure.
There you go. So again, whenever you see images from outer space of the globe, you're gonna see a lot of different,
Yeah.
because again, different countries are gonna depict it differently. Because again, they're all being made in a computer. Because if the Earth was truly a globe and they were truly taking photographs, then all the images should look very similar, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the fact that the continents are different sizes, you know what I'm saying? That just shows what they're saying is true, that they're not real, you know what I'm saying? But again, we don't even have to believe them. We just go with physics,
Hey,
with
real
what
quick,
physics shows.
which one's from like what source?
Oh, these are both from NASA.gov.
Okay.
Yeah, you can look them up. They have plenty more, you know.
But
what
like
I'm
from
saying?
different years, or like.
Yeah, this one's 2002 and 2012.
Okay.
So they're over almost 20 years old. This one over 20 years old, right? So images, they don't call them photographs. They actually call them images, and the reason why is because they're actually photoshopped. But they don't say they're photoshopped. They call them composites. So, but they still admit they make them in a computer. So they're CGI. So the only place you're ever going to see curvature of the Earth is through CGI images like this. These are official NASA.gov images, or through GoPro cameras that have the fisheye lens, for example, that warps horizontal lines, the wide angle. So that's the only place you're ever going to see curvature. In actuality, in reality, water's always
I've
level.
seen these before.
Yeah, I bet. So what's the number one proof that convinces you that it's a ball? Let me ask you.
Probably satellite images.
Okay, images. I'm glad you're talking about.
I mean,
That's basically like the number one proof that most
Yeah.
people bring up, by the way. But okay, what else?
if gravity's focused on one point, it's gonna
Okay,
morph.
good. gravity.
As close as a sphere can get.
Okay,
Because
okay.
it's not always constant.
Okay. So I don't know if you knew, but the theory of gravity, the Newton's theory of gravity of mass attracting mass, in other words, objects being pulled to the ground, has actually been debunked. There's a reason why they came up with Einstein's new theory of relativity, which is the modern theory of relativity, which basically gives an explanation that it's actually the Earth that's in constant motion. Because again, physics shows that objects don't go towards the ground. It's the ground that's coming up to the object.
Okay.
So the bending and warping of space-time, Einstein's theory of relativity, is there just as a word salad explanation to just give people an explanation that, you know, that objects don't go down. It's the
Okay.
Earth coming up. But if the Earth was a globe and it's the Earth coming up to object, that would mean that Earth has to be expanding. Because if you drop something here in America and you drop something in Australia, how is it that the Earth is coming to the object and it's not the object coming to the ground? Again, that's where they come up with the bending and warping of space-time, which again is just bullshit to make you believe in this. The fact is, the Earth is a level plane that's in constant motion. So the Earth is moving up, pressing up against our feet right now, basically.
All right.
So when you release something, it's the Earth that's coming in contact with it. You know, it's not this that's accelerating now. So this whole theory of gravity, again, is just a theory to make people believe in this or this, basically. If I showed you guys an image of me flying, would you guys believe I could fly?
If you had a video, possible.
If I showed you a video of me flying, you'll believe it? I could show you a picture of a lot of people flying on YouTube. You believe they could fly?
I mean,
I would say that defies the laws of physics. What if I showed you that I could walk through walls?
I mean, if
A
you did it
video,
right
a
now.
video. No, a video. I can't. I'll say that I can't do it in person because whatever reason. But if I showed you a video, would you believe me that I could walk through walls, walk through matter? Why not? That defies physics, right? Yeah. Any claims that people make that defy physics, we know this because magicians try to fool us all the time, right? We know those are tricks. But these mathematicians, I would call them mathematicians, are trying to trick us to making us believe that water bends, but it doesn't. Again, these images defy the laws of physics, just like me flying, for example, or me walking through walls, you know. So physics proves that the Earth is not a ball, you know. Yeah. The only place you're ever gonna see curvature of the Earth, again, is through CGI cartoons like this.
Yeah.
These are official NASA pictures, by the way, or through GoPro cameras that warp horizontal lines. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the fisheye lens.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you ever see like the Air Force, for example, flying very high, supposedly and showing the curve of the Earth, they're usually using a GoPro to give a false perspective.
Right.
But if we actually used a standard camera without a GoPro lens, basically, this is what the horizon looks like. How would you describe the horizon?
Level.
Horizontal.
Horizontal.
Exactly. I would say that's where the word horizon comes
Yeah.
from. Yeah. So you think boats go over the curve, right? Would you? Because
It's just the farther they go out, the faster it goes.
why do you think though? Why do you think that? You think so? Okay. So the horizon, I don't know if you guys knew, we do have a limit to how far we could see. It's at sea level is about 6 feet, you know, the horizon, and that has to do with how far we can actually see. So everything gets compressed to a point. So if I move this bottle away from you, it's gonna appear to start shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink till you can't see it anymore. So there's a vanishing point to our perspective, and then the horizon is that limit, basically. Because when you increase your altitude, the
Yeah.
horizon rises with you, and you're able to see more in front of you.
Yeah.
So if the Earth was a globe, when we rise up, we should look down at the horizon. In other words, you know, it should be below our feet, and that
Right.
never happens.
Yeah.
Because again, the horizon is just the parent, and the more you increase altitude, the more you see in front of you. So I'm pretty sure the one they have current now is going to look even more different, you know. Well, I mean, they claim it's an oblate spheroid, right? I mean, you guys heard Neil deGrasse Tyson say that. But in the images they show us, they're perfect spheres. So that kind of contradicts that pear-shaped Earth that they're telling us that it is, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so just before you guys go, like real quick, so the only place you're ever going to see curvature is through CGI images like that or to GoPro cameras. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the fisheye lens.
Oh, yeah.
It warps horizontal lines, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only way you're able to see curvature of the Earth. If you actually use a standard camera and send it up in like a high altitude balloon, for example, this is what the horizon actually looks like without any distortion, basically. How would you guys describe the horizon?
Relatively flat.
I mean, geometrically, how would you describe it? Horizontal, I would say.
From those pictures, it's
Yeah.
just a line.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
like
a
a line.
horizontal line though, because
Yeah.
it's not a slope. You know, Earth, we're not, you know, on a slope. We don't live on a slope. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So let me ask you guys this: if we were truly being lied to about the shape of the Earth, you know, hypothetically,
Yeah.
would that be something important to know?
Probably.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people I would ask, they would say like, oh, even if it was flat, right? They say flat, but it's not flat, right? It's level. What difference will it make, right?
It would change a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would say those people are intellectually lazy. They don't understand the significance of this line, how it encompasses not even our lives, but the whole school system, for example, yeah, again, going up to NASA, and again, we're being, if this was true, in other words, if we're being told lies about, then we're being lied to about our existence as humans as well, about the nature of what human beings are what we should be doing here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So again, a lot of people that just dismiss this as it's not important. Again, I would say that's part of the programming to just dismiss this, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of ridicule going on with this topic, which is why I'm out here. You know, one of the reasons why I'm out here.
Okay.
Is because there's a lot of misrepresenting online. So a lot of mainstream channels will never talk about the physics of water, for example, especially measuring it. You know, what they're going to talk about is laser experiments. You've probably heard of laser experiments. No? So the reason why laser experiments are being used in the mainstream is because we all know refraction is a thing, right? When you shine light through water, for example, or there's going to be refraction. You know, the light's not going to go straight. So you're always going to get an inconclusive measurement when you're measuring the surface of the Earth using lasers.
Talking about the ones that they did out in the Utah salt flats?
I think so. Yeah, similar to that. There's this line of sight ones, and then there's laser ones. But again, a physical measurement. Again, that's backed by the scientific method, measurable, testable, repeatable. You know, will show us that the Earth is not a ball. You know what I'm saying? This is what the horizon actually looks like with a standard camera. So if you were looking at it with the naked eye, this is what it looks like. For example, how would you describe the horizon? I mean, geometrically. I mean, yeah, it's cloudy because you're above the clouds.
Like
horizontal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that's where the word horizon comes from. You know, horizontal, which again means level. You know what I'm saying? So no curve. So let me ask you guys this. Do you think there's a possibility that we have been lied to on a mass scale about our existence in this place? Or are you guys 100% convinced that it's a ball?
it's a what?
Are you guys 100% convinced that, or are you guys open to that maybe we have been lied to?
I believe it's a ball.
You're 100% convinced it's a ball? What convinces you? So if I showed you an image, for example, of me flying, would you believe I could fly? What if I showed you a video of me flying? So a video and pictures wouldn't be enough to convince you, right? Especially if it defies physics, right?
Right.
But you believe these images, even though they defy physics as well.
Well, I would say because in my culture we also believe that the Earth is round.
What culture is that? What am I asking? Oh, Muslim. Oh, I would say the globe Earth, the heliocentric model, is like a religion.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm nothing against religion, but our religions are based off of faith, right? Would you agree?
Right.
It's not, religions are not scientific, right? They're just faith-based. The heliocentric model is the same thing. It's not scientific.
Right.
It's faith-based. Because, again, another thing about religions is that they all give us a creation story, right? And what is the globe? They give us a creation story with the Big Bang and evolution, right? So any religion, again, anybody claiming to know how this place was created is just a religion, basically.
Right.
Which, again, I respect people's beliefs, but you can't physically prove them, you know? You know, the fact is, you know, the first law of thermodynamics does prove that this place was created. Why? Because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It only transforms from one form to another. So this place was created, you know. That's another reason why they kind of lied to us, to just make us believe that we came from nothing and we evolved from monkeys, right? But this is intelligently designed. So, you know, there is purpose to our existence in the Earth.
Do you believe it's round?
No, I don't have beliefs. I know, either I know something or I don't. And I know that water doesn't bend on the surface.
So, you think? What do you think? Flat or round?
So I would say level, because flat, I would say, is just the word that's being used right now in the mainstream to kind of discredit this. But the correct term is level. And the reason,
we're like in a straight line?
yeah, oh yeah. So the Earth is a contained system. So what's at the extremities? What does this container look like? I don't know. I think maybe the military have found the container of the Earth, but I think that's where they, you know, I think that's when they created NASA and they started telling lies about what's outside, you know. But I don't know what's outside of the Earth.
Yeah.
People that claim to know what's outside of the Earth, again, it's just a religion. Exactly, faith-based. Exactly.
Interesting. I've
Yeah.
never met anyone
True.
who was like.
So
So
there,
you think like every like okay, so like let's say there's like the contents, right? You think like everything is level?
yeah, so I'm gonna show you a map, which I think it's part of the deception as well, because the dimensions of this ball Earth haven't physically been measured. So the dimensions of this is again theoretical.
Yeah.
They didn't physically take a plane and measure the distance of the equator. They didn't do that. You know, it's all based on assumptions. So before you guys go, these are images of the horizon without a GoPro camera, by the way. How would you guys describe the horizon?
I mean, Earth is so big, so it just looks.
Okay. I would say it's horizontal, and I would say that's where the word horizon comes
Yeah.
from the word horizontal. So the only place you're ever going to see curvature of the Earth, again, is through GoPro cameras that warp horizontal lines like this with the wide angle, or through CGI images like this. You know, NASA and any other space agency admits that these are all basically CGI composites made in a computer. So no genuine photograph of the Earth from space exists. Part of the reason why is because space itself doesn't even exist. So what's outside of the Earth is just a concept. So are you familiar with entropy? Have you heard of entropy? So it's the second law of thermodynamics, which basically shows that high pressure will always move to a lower pressure unless you have a solid barrier. So it's the same reason why you're able to put air in your tire and the air stays in there, because you have a solid rubber, you know, keeping the air in. So they're trying to claim that outer space is a negative pressure next to Earth's pressure without a solid barrier, which again, that defies physics. So anybody claiming to know what's outside of the Earth is just ideas, ideology. So the Earth is a contained system. What does this container look like? I don't know. Nobody knows. So that's part of the control that they're trying to keep people from finding out what this place actually is. So that's why I'm out here trying to spread awareness, because this is the #1 censored topic online, by the way. So in the way they're censoring it is they're not removing this information from the internet, they're just demoting it. And they just promote these pseudoscientists that, again, just focus on stories about the sky. And
you actually have to check out some stuff.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
You guys gotta go here. Take my channel, you guys can check it out. And yeah, thanks for the chat. Yeah, I mean, let me ask you guys this. Do you think there's a possibility that we have been lied to about the shape of the Earth, or are you guys 100% convinced that it's a ball?
This goes back to my question. Are you a flat earther?
I'm not a flat earther. I'm a realist. I would say a flat earther, again, it's just a term to try to dismiss this, to not take it serious. So I would say that's just part of the ridiculing, again, just to not.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Oh, I do, definitely. So I mean, you guys could check it out.
Well, I'm famous now.
That's my channel right there. You guys can scan that.
How many subscribers?
A little under 2,000, but my channel doesn't get recommended by YouTube, so because it's part of the censoring. This information is getting demoted. So anybody that's came across my channel has been direct like this, word to mouth, basically. So yeah, my channel will never get recommended by
We'll
YouTube.
definitely check it out.
Why UCR?
Why UCR?
Because I believe, I mean, isn't this where smart people come to better themselves, right? No, but I'm just trying to challenge the current narrative, because a lot of professors will run away from this topic. They will not have this conversation with me.
Right.
They would
Now
run
we
away.
got the YouTube channel.
I'm sorry?
So we'll definitely check it out. Now we got the YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
definitely,
So
yeah.
definitely check it
That's
out.
the only way this is going to spread.
This was dope as
Hey, man, thank you. You guys have a good one. So,
Are you conducting the experiment for this, or?
oh, so I don't have the funds, obviously, to do this
yeah.
experiment. But NASA, for example, they get over $70 million a day. They can easily build this structure with 1 million, you know, probably, you know, and prove that the water bends. You got to ask yourself, why haven't they done that? They actually avoid talking about the physics of water. All they focus is just cartoons from outer space like this. They'll show you black holes, they'll show you nebulas, and I don't know if you guys knew, outer space is just a concept. So it's just somebody's imagination. Nobody knows what's outside of the Earth.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know if you guys are familiar with entropy. Have you guys heard of entropy? Right? It's the second law of thermodynamics, which states that high pressure will always move to a lower pressure instantaneously without a solid barrier. So they're claiming outer space is a negative pressure compared to Earth's 14.7 psi without a solid barrier, but there's no entropy that's happening. You know what I'm saying? They should, basically the air of the Earth, the atmosphere, should get sucked instantaneously by outer space if there's no physical barrier. But
I
the
feel
fact,
like there's an argument to be made because that entropy only occurs when there's no other forces attracting on the two. Like,
I
areas,
agree.
right?
Yeah.
And then there's the
So
fact
you're
that-
saying that gravity is the
Yeah.
container.
Yeah, because
okay.
you know there's like gravitational force.
Yeah.
And all
I would
that.
say, because a lot of people would say that, oh, it's the atmosphere containing itself, based on this idea. I don't know if you knew gravity was just a theory, the idea that objects get pulled to the ground. I don't know if you guys knew the Einstein's theory of relativity, the new modern theory of relativity, actually debunked that objects accelerate down.
Like
There you go. It debunked Newton. So the fact is that the Earth is actually rising up to the objects. When you release an object, it's the Earth that's coming up to it. So it's not the object coming down towards the Earth. But from a globe perspective, that would mean the Earth will have to be expanding. You know, if the Earth is coming up to objects, then that's where the theory of relativity comes in, because it's just word salad to explain that fact that objects don't accelerate down. But he claims it's a bending and warping of space-time, right? Which nobody actually understands, and that's just cartoon physics, basically, to explain that the Earth is in constant motion. But the fact is, the Earth is a level plane that is in constant motion, and that's why objects appear to fall. But it's just the Earth coming into contact with them. You know what I'm saying? So again, this whole idea of gravity is just there to basically be able to sell the rest of the model. You know, orbits, for example. What causes orbits? Gravity, right? And what makes things fall? Gravity, right? What bends water? Gravity, right? What curves airplanes when they're flying level? Gravity, right? So gravity, again, is just a theory to explain away this model, basically. But if we go to physics, which is the opposite of a theory, it's laws, right? That's going to show us that the globe is just conceptual, basically. You know, it's not actual, you know. I mean, you guys have any questions before you guys go? I know.
You got
So,
like a page for this or something?
oh yeah, definitely. I'm glad you asked. So I do have a channel. Now my channel doesn't get recommended by YouTube. So this topic's not gonna be popular on YouTube. That's for sure. Especially,
if we keep
yeah,
this?
yeah. You guys can take
Oh,
another
shit.
one.
Are you get this?
We'll just take one for the 3.
There you go. Yeah. So man, thanks for having the chat. I mean, I'll be here. You know, if you guys have any questions, you guys could leave me a comment. You know,
Alright.
if anything comes up.
Your name's William?
My name's William. Yep.
Alright,
That's me.
nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you, man. You have a good one. So the fact that they're pushing this map as well, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it, by the way. This one, right? Yeah. So this is a psyop as well. Why? Because this is literally taking the same numbers from this, the equator, the number 24,101 miles, and they're just making it into a flat plane. Which, again, what does the Earth actually look like? It's not neither of these. The fact is, I don't know. You know what the Earth actually looks like.
Anybody could tell you anything.
Exactly. How do you verify it? Think about it.
Yeah.
How do you verify that they're telling you the truth? Especially if it's coming from government, which it's known to lie about everything. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't trust the government, do you? So, hypothetically, if this was true, if we were being lied to, would that be something important to look into? To actually find out
I
for
think
yourself?
so.
Yeah,
I
right?
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people would say that it's not important, and I would say that those people are being intellectually lazy because they don't want to admit to themselves that they've actually been lied to.
Yeah.
But if this was true, this would be the biggest lie on earth, if you ask me. Could you think of a bigger lie? No. The only bigger lie, in my opinion, that's bigger than the shape of the earth is the lie that objects accelerate down in free fall.
Yeah.
So based on that idea that supposedly objects accelerate down, that's where the whole idea of gravity came in, the theory of, and then the whole theory of outer space and orbits. It's all based on the theory that objects accelerate down. But yeah,
That's
so it's just ideology,
Do
basically.
you think every planet is flat?
Oh, so the stars, right? You're talking about the stars? So this is what the stars actually look like. Again, nobody knows what's outside or what the sky actually is, but this is what the stars look like. So nobody knows what they actually are. I don't know if you knew, but we have constellations, right? Because they're constant, meaning that they always reset every year. They're constant, you know, it's in the name. And in other words, if we were shooting through space, spinning on a ball, right? Every night sky should be different than the night before. It should be parallax, in other words. But the fact that we don't have parallax proves that we're not shooting through space and spinning. You know. So and then this is what the planets
Yeah,
look
what
like.
about the planets? I was
Yeah,
gonna ask.
yeah. So it's just like the stars. The only reason why they're called planets is because the word planet means wandering stars.
Yeah.
So just like these are constant, these have their own unique paths. So they're detached from the rest of the sky. But there's just lights in the sky that rotate above. Nobody really knows what they are.
So were you guys smarter than a 5th grader?
Yeah, they actually
Yeah,
got
we
both
are.
of them right.
Oh.
Yeah, they got both of them right. Here,
Are
you
you
could,
smarter than a 5th grader?
I will find out.
here, let me,
Thank you.
yeah, here, let me give you guys a flyer you guys can share, and maybe you guys will see yourself there.
Thank you.
All right.